Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ingrid, and I'm your host. Today's mindful moment is all about noticing glimmers. We know about triggers, or you might have heard about triggers, but not many people talk about glimmers. Triggers are cues that sets our body into a state of flight or flight or freeze mode, where glimmers is cues that move our body into a state of safety and connection. And when we deal with anxiety and stress, our nervous system is dysregulated, and this is just another tool, a mindful tool to use when you feel dysregulated and need some love. I won't go into too much depth of the science behind glimmers today. This is just a practice to show you how to tap into that and use it for future when you feel you need a moment of love, like I said before. So first I want you to ground yourself and get into where you're sitting. Make sure you are comfortable. You might see little Coco pop in here and there. She is my little office assistant today. Okay, so let's first step into the moment now. So close your eyes if you feel comfortable. You don't have to. Take a deep couple of breaths, like inhale through the nose and give a loud exhale. Do that a couple of times by yourself. Inhale through your nose and exhale through the mouth with a deep sigh. And just let go all the stress and the tension that's been building up for the last week, or maybe over the weekend, or over the last month, or maybe you had a difficult situation this past week, or whenever. Just let it all out. Notice how you feel. Notice the sensations in your body as you exhale. Every time you exhale, notice how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel good? Does it make you feel relaxed? Does it make you feel happy in a sense? Take another inhale and exhale. Good. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick mindful observation technique just to bring yourself into the moment. It's always good to start these practices when you're in your body and not in your mind, because we want the body to respond to us and want to tell us what it is that makes us feel safe. So, first I want you to do is open your eyes if you've closed it and name 5 things in the space you see around you. So anything, just list them in your head, put them in your head, and just there you go. Now, once you've done that, notice 4 things you can feel around you. Is it maybe the chair that you're sitting on? Maybe you on your yoga mat meditating before you came across this video, or you might be in bed lying down. Excuse me. Just name them in your head. There's no need to write them down or remember it. There's nothing to remember. Now bring your focus and your attention on 3 things you can hear in the space that you are in. And also, if you can only hear one thing, that's also fine. List what you can hear, what you can see, or what you can feel. And you can continue on with breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Just notice what feels good. What is your body asking you to do? Next up, I want you to focus and notice on 2 things that you can smell. Maybe it's the diffuser or the luscious body cream that you put on this morning after you showered, or it's the smell of a clean house, or maybe you're outside and you can smell the fresh air. Just notice and become aware. And then finally, I want you to notice or bring your attention to one thing that you can taste. Okay, so now it's back to our glimmer practice, and I want you to grab your journal and create a list of inventory of safety. So you can keep it close by, you can have it on your phone. Probably not the best to do it while you're on your phone because you might get distracted by social media notifications or a message. I want you to be mindful and present in this moment. So rather get a piece of paper and you can transfer it later, or grab your journal and a pen. First one is I want you to close your eyes and remember a moment of peace where you felt, it might have been a place that you've been to, or it might have been a person that you were with at, anything that gives you a sense of peace. Write everything down, absolutely anything. It can be, the moment where your pets were just all over you and loving you. Give yourself a few moments and just notice where the peace feels in your body. Where does it come up? Is it in your heart space? Is it in your solar plexus? Do you feel peace when you're with someone or you're at a specific place? Next up, I want you to think of everything that makes you feel safe. It could be while you were playing with your pets, or a hug from your partner, a warm, cozy environment. My safety is warmth, so I recreate that every time. And if you don't think of many things, you can only think of one thing, that's also fine. You don't need to think about, it doesn't have to be a whole list of 5, 10, 20 things. If you can only just notice one glimmer, that's a start, and that's where we start. Now I want you to think about the sounds that make you feel at peace and make you feel happy and joy. You can even create a playlist of music that makes you feel that. I love music, and music is a way for me to just let out. So that's, for me, it's a beautiful way of creating safety, is when I feel I've started a playlist, or there's a few songs and YouTube creates playlists, so you can even do that. Spotify has a way to create playlists. So yeah, think about the sounds. It could even be sounds like birds chirping or the waves crashing on the rocks. Usually these 5 senses, when you bring them in together, it will create a form a picture of safety for you. Like for me, the ocean waves, the sound of the ocean, nature for me, the birds chirping, birds building their houses. We've got this massive tree in our yard, and it's just full of birds creating their houses and little spaces for them to be safe. That for me creates safety. So sometimes just going outdoors and noticing that makes me feel grounded. the next thing I want you to think about is a specific place that makes you feel safe. Maybe it's your favorite coffee shop, maybe it's talking to a friend or a friend visiting, or maybe a weekend away, or the mountains. You were going on a hike and the mountains create that safety. Just tap into that feeling that you had when you were in the mountains, or when you were walking down the street or down the beach or wherever. And lastly, I want you to think about an experience that you might have had that brings forth. Maybe you went for a 5-day hike that was peaceful and happiness and joyful. Did you feel safe? Always remember, it needs to be a place or an experience where you have felt safety. If you don't know what that feels like, set an intention to notice the glimmers, notice the joy that comes from experience, from places, from people, from places. There's so much that can trigger us, and we're so focusing on the negative always. So let's try and shift our focus into something that is making us feel and be happy. It can be the smallest of thing, like your partner coming and wrapping his arms around you while you're washing dishes or while you're cooking food, or just like, feel that and list that. That is gold moments. That is mindful moments that will help you support yourself when things feel completely out of whack. When you feel the nervous system is going like, whoa, I can't anymore, I can't anymore. It's such a great energy to be in. And yes, it's not always possible, but when you start practicing it, that's what mindfulness is about. It's about practicing and noticing, practicing and noticing. And some days you might not remember your glimmer list, but the more you practice and more you notice, and the more you bring yourself back to your glimmer list, it's going to empower you so much, and it's going to make you feel so much better in the moment, but also in the long term. So I want to leave you with that today. I hope you really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful Sunday, and I'm going to sit out in the sun and go through my list of glimmers, because my period started on Friday, so I do feel a bit down and a bit disappointed, but it's always a way of, there's always something to bring us back into the moment and make myself grateful for what I do have in the moment. Yes, I'm not pregnant yet, but if you know my story and you've read about a bit about my journey, you'll know that it's been an ongoing journey for me, and these practices have really truly helped me to tap into this present moment. I actually showed you two mindfulness practices, and you can use the one that we started with, where you're noticing 5 things that you see and 4 things that you hear and all those things. And you can use that as well, but I'll do that in a separate video as well, just to keep it all separate. But you've got the tool now, use it, and please do let me know excuse me, how it felt and how it has made you feel going forward. And remember your glimmer list. Sometimes things are just crazy and I don't think about my glimmer list, and then suddenly something reminds me of, oh wait, let's tap into that glimmerless. So it's just another tool for you to tap into, and I hope you enjoy it and it helps you feel grounded and safe. See you next time. Bye.